A little-known art house movie produced for the Adelaide Film Festival is causing grief for its Iranian lead actress. Marzieh Vafamehr has reportedly been sentenced to a year's prison and 90 lashes for starring in My Tehran for Sale, which is critical of the Iranian government. Even though the film was never released in Iran, the actress was arrested after pirated copies appeared on the black market. The Foreign Minister, Kevin Rudd, says Australia is concerned about the reports, as Mike Sexton reports.
In her lead role in the film My Tehran for Sale, Marzieh Vafamehr plays an actor in Tehran whose work is banned by the authorities, forcing her to lead a secret life before eventually fleeing to Australia.
This is a film about a woman who reaches a point where she's prepared to put everything she's got for sale to change the situation, she thinks, for better.
Now in a cruel case of life imitating art, the film's been banned by authorities in Tehran, and the actor faces a year in prison and 90 lashes for her role in it.
Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
It seems to be the case that more recently filmmakers have been particularly targeted, and that goes along with the persecution that's been happening with other people who speak out, such as student activists or lawyers or other sorts of human rights defenders.
It seems quite extraordinary to me, obviously, from the perspective of Australia. I mean, we have such a freedom in terms of our artistic community to be able to explore all sorts of complex questions in all sorts of ways, and so obviously it's very disturbing and difficult to understand when somebody is treated so harshly for doing exactly that.
The film was part funded by the South Australian Film Corporation for the Adelaide Film Festival in 2009. It was written and directed by Marzieh, who migrated to Australia from Iran in the 1990s.
My hopes for Iran would be definitely having a better life for people, their comfort, and a free society where people can talk what they think, they wear what they want, they drink and eat what they want. My hopes for Iran are really basic in a glorious way under this umbrella of freedom.
That umbrella of freedom included filming a majority of the movie on location in Tehran.
I didn't do anything wrong in the film according to the rules and regulations of filmmaking in Iran. I try to tell my stories, but I'm a filmmaker. My job as a filmmaker is to deliver the stories in the ways that are possible for that film industry to tolerate it.
That tolerance didn't run to screening the film in Iran, but the film's producers say it wasn't meant to be released in that country. But in July, apparently after copies of My Tehran for Sale began appearing on the black market, Marzieh Vafamehr was arrested. In a statement today, Marzieh said the accusations were groundless and the documents were shown to the Iranian court that permits were in place for the production of the film.
Granas, who is the co-producer of this movie, is trying to do something in Australia against that sentencing, and we are just hoping for her to be successful with her appeal.
The film's producers say they believe the charges were laid in relation to scenes where Marzieh Vafamehr appears without wearing the hijab, a practice that has been allowed previously in Iranian films. Those who commissioned the movie say 49 different countries were represented in features at the Adelaide Film Festival. They say such events are created to explore political and social ideas from around the world.
That's the whole point about censorship. It's not up to us to censor a project, obviously, other than to decide whether or not we support it or not. I think that this is a very interesting film. It's by a very talented team. It explores ideas that have, a resonance for us.
Well, it's so sad, and I think this news wouldn't make anyone happy in the world. But also there is a strong message in this news that we should be more appreciative of Australian culture.
One woman who understands the cross-cultural tension is Iranian-born artist Nasim Naz. Her work features on the streets of her adopted home in Adelaide, but most of her family remains in Tehran. Is it possible to be an artist without being political when it comes to Iran?
Well, I think being an Iranian-born, anything we do as an artist, it might have some political sides to it. But because I'm a contemporary artist and I make conceptual art, it can be read in lots of different ways.
Nasim Naz discovered this earlier this year when her production Women in Shadow reworked the idea of a fashion parade and questioned the connections between culture, language and appearance.
And I'm so glad new generation can talk like this.
However, soon afterward, excerpts of the show appeared on the internet and the artist found herself under heavy criticism.
There is always negative responses, and I'm sure there's always people who not believe in what I believe. And I just hope that people can have capacity to accept others' opinion, whether it's against them or whether it's completely opposite.
Nasim Naz, Marzieh Vafamehr and Gulnaz Mousavi are all artists in a tradition that stretches back centuries in Iran. It seems the only differences is the country in which they express themselves.
Clearly there is a lot of courage within the artistic community in Iran. We really hold out hope that the appeal will be successful.
Mike Sexton reporting.